with SDGs, and it is against a background that in a decade of action towards achieving sustainable development goals. There's 8 years left to achieving them, and there are a lot of issues, including a global crisis, and this has slowed down progress. The country, the world has been stagnating and at worst regressing. However, the goal to reach those SDGs is still on. And this is because there is an increase and the work of populations rapidly increasing. But let's look at what is upcoming to look at these SDGs. There's a Youth Summit that is on the cards, and to talk about this and more and related to that is Eunice Mwitupa, who is marketing team lead, and Mwitupa Makashini, who is a Resource Mobilization team member. Thank you for coming to the update.
Thank you so much for having us.
I don't know whether that expression about SDGs being in trouble in terms of being met because of slowdowns and crisis happening in certain parts of the world reverses the pace at which SDGs should be met. In other words, what conversations are going on regarding meeting the targeted sustainable development goals? What are the conversations? Are there alternatives? Are there other areas to make sure that the focus and the target is met? Right. What are you hearing?
Right, so I'll first start by talking about the origin of the Youth SDG Summit. So in around 2021, a group of young people, myself included, at the Copperbelt University School of Medicine, decided to get together and raise awareness about the SDGs, because we had the privilege of having exposure as young people to the SDGs, and we decided, you know what, let's spread the word. So as we went from there, we had it was the height of the COVID pandemic, which I know set us back a few steps when it comes to the SDGs, right? So it was a global pandemic, and we said, what can we do about this? So we moved from having a virtual summit to then having a hybrid summit and then an in-person summit at the Copperbelt University School of Medicine. And so these conversations have really led us to believe that the Sustainable Development Goals, while attainable, we have a long way to go. And so when it comes to having summits like our own, we realize that there's a lot of need for mentorship for the young people. Right. There's a lot of need for backing in terms of funding. There's a lot of need for, first, when we move from awareness, we need to also have action. And that's why it's important to have conversations like this.
Excellent. What are these SDGs? What are some of them? Maybe you don't have to list everything. What are some of them?
I think I will focus on what we are looking at as the Youth SDG Summit, and that is the climate crisis, and also looking at health. So we are going to be focusing on some of the preliminary challenges like the climate crisis, and also the sexual reproductive rights and funding for youths. So I'm talking about 3 SDGs, partnerships for all, the climate crisis, and one that talks about the health. So it's very important for us to be having these discussions at this point in time, considering the energy crisis and all these things that have affected our economy in that regard. So we will be focusing on bringing awareness and also highlighting some of the solutions that are on the market, what young people are actually doing. So it's not just about us promoting these SDGs, but also ensuring that we have tangible solutions that are curbing whatever effects we are facing from the climate crisis.
How much interest is there among young people in this matter? Sometimes it looks like they're very far-fetched and for adults and the technical and not as, as catchy.
Well, I would like to believe that interest stems from one's interest and also what it is that they have been informed about. So for someone who does not know how SDGs relate to maybe their career path or some of the things that they can contribute to the global issues, then they would not be interested. But it's important for them to be able to attend such summits, for them to be well informed and see where they can place what they're currently doing with the SDGs. And I believe that that's where they can begin to grow their interest. And I would like to bring to your attention that interest stems from having a personal responsibility on what change you'd like to bring to your community, then you can begin to align these SDGs in whatever it is that you're doing.
Absolutely, and just to add on, I think we've seen vast numbers of young people just ready and hungry to see their futures bettered. We know that you've had guests on the program talking about, renewable energy, etc. Young people need to begin to have these conversations. And one thing that we've noticed as the Youth SDG Summit is we've had thousands of young people express interests. We've got our LinkedIn page, which has over 2,000 followers. We've got our Facebook page, which has over 2,000 followers as well. We've got young people that are showing a keen interest in what is going on in the country, beyond just the humor and the memes and the videos. What can we actually do towards action for the Sustainable Development Goals? And one thing that young people really need, is partnership. Young people need mentorship. Young people need other people to come on board and believe in their future, which is why we're so grateful for some of our sponsors, including the United Nations Development Program in Zambia here. They've shown vast interest and they've shown a huge backing towards believing in young people and believing in securing their future. Additionally, we've also got Zambia on board. We've got Copper Rose Zambia, Sharon's Rose Logistics, and Liquid Intelligence Technologies. So young people do have a keen interest in this. They just need that extra push towards attaining the Sustainable Development Goals.
Right. Talk about where this summit is happening in a very quick sense, because we've got to go.
Okay.
And what are the times?
So the summit is going to be in Ndola at the Copperbelt University School of Medicine. It's just near the stadium. It's going to be on the 27th and the 28th of September. So for those people who are in Lusaka, they can travel. The summit is absolutely free to attend. For people in Ndola, they are free to attend. For people across Zambia, they would have to travel, of course, at their own transport, but everything will be provided. The workshop, they'll have access to materials and everything else. So that's the dates for the summit.
Okay.
And for people that would like to get involved, you can follow us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. We have all these pages. We're so excited to have all of these partners on board, and it gives a chance for young people to connect with our partners. It gives a chance for young people to gain access to these people that where else would they meet them? So we're poised to have over 1,000 young people attend this event. We're so ready for them. There's also an opportunity if you are a young person who has an organization, if you're a young person who is involved in youth work, because we know we're not the only people having these types of talks.
Right.
So we would love to have them on board as well.
Young people, we've got to go. Thank you for coming.
We are so
Thank
grateful.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Eunice and Mwitupa Makashieni, and these are part of what is happening in Ndola. So it's all about SDGs, youth participation in localizing sustainable development goals.